You're listening to C103's Cork Today podcast. Phone and text lines are currently closed.
We're off to the Health Hub Times Square in Ballincollig, where Anneliese joins me. Good afternoon to you, Anneliese.
Good afternoon.
And you're
Patricia.
very welcome. Starting with a question in from Tina. What is the best thing to prevent reoccurring kidney infections?
So generally the best thing to prevent is to take something called D-mannose every day. It's a sugar, but it helps to sort of prevent the spike formation of the bacteria so that they can kind of stick onto the cells of the bladder and the urinary tract, and it kind of flushes them through. So you can take it either as a powder or as a tablet, 1,000 milligrams a day, ideally for prevention. And it really does work. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it's also very good to use for treatment. So if you do feel something coming on, you could increase it to 1,000 milligrams every 3 to 4 hours, Patricia, and keep it flushing through. And what else is fantastic as well, and we sell a lot, and actually have a lot of customers who are antibiotic-free for years, also by adding cranbiotics, which is a combination of cranberry extract and probiotics. So the good bacteria also play a role in preventing the infection-causing bacteria from being able to kind of multiply and cause infection. So if you've had an awful lot of kidney infections, or if you're really prone to them, I would take 1 capsule of those a day as well.
OK, Marion describes herself as a perfectly healthy 50-year-old woman, quite active, is on HRT, but she's finding she's getting a bit stiff. She's just wondering, could she take anything? What would you suggest? Because she doesn't want to go on any other medications from the doctor. Or is there anything from a holistic point of view you could suggest?
So I'm not sure if it's her joints are stiff or if her muscles are stiff. So if it was muscle, magnesium is very good. And Viridian do a nice high potency magnesium. It's 300 milligrams per capsule. So you could start on something like that. That's very good for stiff and sore muscles, or if people have restless legs. But if it's stiff joints, definitely it's good to start now, because you want to start before the damage is actually done, because once the wear and tear is too far gone, there's very little you can do then to repair the cartilage in the joint. So like everything else, natural medicine is ideally used for prevention rather than cure. So with stiff joints, what I'd be recommending is something that would support the joint, that has a nice bit of natural anti-inflammatory in there as well. So we get very good feedback on 2 particular supplements. One of them is by a company called One Nutrition, and it's called Joint Support. And the other one is by a company called GAL, and it's called UC2 Cartilage. And both of those have a combination of stuff that support the cartilage formation, but also nice natural anti-inflammatories. So you could start on those. And another one that people often say helps fantastically with their joints is fish oil supplement. And what I love about a fish oil supplement, Patricia, is I don't think any of us really probably eat enough oily fish, and particularly because of the mercury poisoning, people could be afraid of, at the most we can really eat it is 3 times a week anyway. So to take a fish oil supplement is a fantastic natural anti-inflammatory. So it works for the joints, but it also works everywhere else. So it helps keep your good cholesterol up. It's an anti-inflammatory for the heart, keeps your blood lovely and thin and flowing nicely, less likely to clot. It supports the tissue, the fatty tissue of the brain health. So I definitely think it plays a role in cognitive decline in the long term and prevention of that. So for many, many reasons, the fish oil will do a lot of different jobs. So that could be another nice option too.
And how much fish oil and what type of fish oil are you talking?
So I think what you're looking for really is, as an anti-inflammatory, omega-3 fish oils. They're made up of EPA and DHA. DHA is wonderful for brain and skin, and EPA is the anti-inflammatory side of it. So if you could get one that has a nice balance of both. The one that I love and that I take myself is called Cardio, and it's just 1 capsule a day, and I get my vitamin D in with that as well. And it's such a high strength one, Patricia. I'd often maybe skip it every other day, because and certainly don't need to take it when you're eating fish. But a good cod liver oil, make sure that that it has been processed properly so that there is none of the heavy metals in there. So go for a fairly good quality one. And if you're willing to take it off the spoon, you'll get great value for money.
Oh.
Nordic Naturals do a few. Patricia, I'm sure you had cod liver oil when you were a kid.
Yeah, I think that's what's turned me off it. Oh, I can still smell it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty disgusting. All right,
Yeah,
get back into it.
Get it down quick. Okay, a lot of calls in. John Paul tells me about this because COVID is back, and I've heard of more people getting COVID, and it's the one people got COVID. They weren't very unwell with it, but now it's afterwards. The energy levels. Any advice on dealing with low energy levels after a bout of COVID?
Yeah, and very common, Patricia, that post-viral fatigue. And that's what I always think about COVID as being the strangest virus that I've really ever seen, is that people who normally post-viral fatigue would have only happened to people who were very, very, very unwell with a flu or glandular fever or other type of virus. But people who have even a mild COVID tend to get that fatigue afterwards. So it's a very unusual virus. So to support it, there'd be a couple of things. The Source of Life Gold, unfortunately, is not available until the end of the month because there was production issues. And so that's not an option at the moment. But that was a very good tonic because it had some ginseng in there. So you could get ginseng separately and take that. It is great for kind of a natural burst of energy, but it's not good to do too much too soon either, Patricia. I do think you need to take a rest. So instead of the Source of Life Gold, I've been recommending a supplement called Vibracell, Vibracell. It's by a company called New Vistas, and I've been getting very good feedback on that. It's a lovely combination of homeopathic and vitamins, minerals, and lots of natural stuff as well. So that could be a good one to try. And then even Baraka, I think, can be good to give you a bit of a boost in the afternoon. That's literally just vitamin B. So you could take a B complex at the very most basic level, and make sure you support your immune system afterwards, because it's the virus that's still there is making you feel tired. So if you take even a vitamin C, zinc, and a vitamin D, just to make sure you're supporting your immune system. And of course, my favourite is the olive leaf extract. I always feel it gets me that extra 20%, that last 20% better. So you could add that into the mix as well.
Okay, here's an unusual one. My son sneezes about 20 times every morning. It happens at home. He's now going to college in Limerick, and it's happening in Limerick as well. So he's obviously late teens, early 20s. What would cause a bout of sneezing just in the morning and then it disappears?
Yeah, I don't know, Patricia, what that would be, but I would say that if it doesn't cause them any distress. Like, some people will sneeze when they see the sunlight. Have you noticed that some people, when they go out in bright light, they start sneezing? So maybe it's something like when he wakes up and the window, the curtains are opened, it's the bright light that triggers it. But I think unless it's actually doing him any harm. The other thing, it could be some type of an allergy, but then if that was the case, he would have been sneezing throughout the night as well. So I think unless it's hurting him in any way, or unless there's an awful lot of mucus, I think it's probably just a harmless reaction to waking up in the morning.
Okay, all right. And the treatments that you gave for the reoccurring kidney infections, the listener wants to know, can they be used for children? Her daughter is 4 and gets a lot of kidney infections. Could they be used for children?
100% can be used for children. And you can get the powder and the Cranbiotics actually as a capsule, so you can open that. So it's very, very easy to hide it in a yogurt in the morning and just get it into them. Yeah,
all I can say to that listener is I was a martyr for kidney infections as a child, but I grew out of it, thankfully. So hopefully she will. And Kay, have we time for this? We do. Kay in County Limerick. Question for Anneliese. Is it advisable to take CQ10 and lysatine granules with a 10 milligram statin?
Okay, so that is actually very good to take, both of those. And the statin drug stops the production of cholesterol in the liver by a particular pathway, by stopping an enzyme that converts saturated fat into cholesterol. But that pathway also makes a very important vitamin called coenzyme Q10, and it's an integral part of our energy pathways. So people can become deficient in this. And that's why people get the side effects of the statin, like the sore muscles and the muscle fatigue and the memory, the short-term memory problems and feeling fatigued. That's because they're probably deficient in coenzyme Q10. So I think everybody, just because it's, if you think about the biggest muscle in the body being the heart, you kind of want it to be healthy. You don't want it to be deficient in Q10, which is important for the energy pathways that fuel the heart. I think everyone on a statin should be taking coenzyme Q10. And then lecithin is what is very good to help form our bile. And bile is what we need to be able to get rid of old cholesterol and unused cholesterol out of the body. So our body is constantly bringing cholesterol around to various different sites in the body where it's needed, and then collecting old cholesterol and bringing it back to the liver to be recycled and got rid of. So the lecithin helps your bile to get rid of cholesterol after the liver.
So good to take as well.
Rid of it. Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for that. Have a lovely week. We'll chat next Monday. Thanks Anneliese. And Anneliese will put up everything that she mentioned on her website this afternoon, healthhubstore.com.